This is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. I want to talk a little bit about the Confederate statue controversy because somebody asked me, "What's your opinion on it?" And I read the email, and I study this stuff all the time. And mine is probably one that's going to upset many of you, based upon some of the individuals we see out there that are being reeled in, if you will, by major media in the narrative they're pushing. But this whole removal of these monuments from back in the Civil War days to trying to erase our history, you know, they did that in Germany. They said, let's get rid of all the swastikas. Let's erase our history. And I, for one, think that's a mistake. And I say that knowing that people aren't going to like what I have to say. It's not going to be popular. It's not going to win me any awards. It'll probably give me a few more death threats or threats to kick my butt or whatever it is that you guys want to send me. But the bottom line is, in my opinion, these monuments should be just left alone, like they have been for years. And it's not because I support what happened during the Civil War, during the Confederacy, or slave ownership, or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's actually the opposite. You see, every single dark spot in history that any country goes through, you can't just hide it. You just can't bury it. You know, right now, if you look at our society, we're still mired in turmoil. There's still racial tensions, racial divide wherever you look. If we go out and we erase this history, what it does is it becomes dangerous because it allows other truths to become the norm. Other narratives to become what actually may have happened versus what truly happened instead. So what you're having, and I got this out of an article I was reading, it's almost, and they said it was almost Orwellian, because you're out there and you're rewriting all this history. And if you look at 1984, and they said, you know, take 1984. As you watch all these people out there destroying these Civil War general monuments out there and everything, renaming streets, threatening to take down faces off monuments. You see I had a picture, I don't think I do it anymore, of Mount Rushmore. I still have it up there, okay. And, you know, how far are people going to go with all this? Think about it. You take away all of our history, the good, the bad. Essentially, who are we? What do we stand for? Do other people get to come in and create the narrative on what our history was? Because you no longer have the books. You no longer have the monuments, the statues. Are you opening the door so that other people can come in? I saw somebody post something on Twitter where they said there's a Lenin statue in Seattle. I find it offensive. I want it taken down. How about if you see a white supremacist, they come in and say, MLK, I don't like that street everywhere. I want it taken down. It's that whole PC culture that we got going on. How can we hope to get out there and improve ourselves, improve the relationships that are out there, if we're not learning from previous mistakes? If those previous mistakes aren't there, then we're going through and creating new ones. We're reliving them. We're creating this whole new narrative out there. Then you lose the truth. Where's the truth gone to? The truth is whatever people want to push. And right now, the biggest struggle we have is the push. The truth tends to be whatever MSM wants to push out. The narrative they're pushing. It amazes me right now what I'm seeing with Antifa. If you've been watching, all the trouble that we've been seeing has stemmed from Antifa for months. For months. Suddenly this white supremacy group shows up. That's actually, this group was managed and controlled by a guy that voted for Obama, a guy that was on Occupy, which is really strange. What's this guy doing with a white supremacy group? And, you know, everything's just so politically correct now. Everything is. The schools. You know, a lot of it is education. Okay? If you look at a lot of individuals, it's amazing. I'll go out, everybody's looking at their phones. The whole education level is just off the charts in terms of going in the wrong direction. You got a lot of brainwashing. You got a lot of indoctrination. You got it at the high school levels, at the college levels. They're manipulating language. They're manipulating opinions. Everything's manipulated so that the narrative fits their truths. And what are their truths? You know, everybody feared the Orwellian future coming. This article referred to everyone were getting concerned about an Orwellian future under somebody like Trump, but has it not already come? And not from Trump, but from others. And like I said, you know, this whole Confederacy thing, the good, the bad, the ugly, it is our story. It's unfortunate, it's our story. Just like Nazism is a story that a lot of the Germans have to live with. But tearing it down, or tearing down, getting rid of Mount Rushmore, tearing down the flags, does not mean that, oh good, now it never happened. Now we're free of it. It never happened. We can rewrite our history. And like I said, I denounce these groups. Everybody knows me. I'm not racist. I could care less what color you are. I could care less what culture you have. You know, I get it a lot myself because my family is very Italian. People don't realize I am, but my family comes from Italy. And you see a lot of that stereotypes, and it drives me crazy. These historic monuments out there, I don't think they should be destroyed. I don't think these extremist elements, both on the right and left, should be out there and allowed free willy to do what they want. Tear down statues, go out there and beat each other up. I think there should have been some control. I wish the police would have jumped in, but that's a whole other rant we need to get into. I think these groups that align themselves with neo-Nazis, the KKK, the alt-right as they call it, they have some misplaced hatred. And it goes same for the alt-left or the Antifa. I would never align myself with the Antifa or white supremacy. You know, the Antifa says they're against fascism, but they're out there brutally stifling of First American rights. Antifa is the group that was out in California stopping Milo Yiannopoulos and Coulter from speaking. And you saw how dangerous it got there. I saw women get beat upside the head. Do you realize at this event that occurred over the weekend, Antifa attacked a reporter from, what was that magazine? It's a little bit left-leaning, The Hill. A lady. Left-leaning. They're not right-leaning. They attacked her. All these groups represent what is worse with our country. Violence, vandalism, hatred, terror. And we need to stop them. The alt-right, the neo-Nazis. They can't be confused as these conservative Republicans. The alt-left, the Antifa, they certainly can't be confused as the liberal Democrats out there. It's all labels, and people go out, they use these labels and hope to sow seeds of divisiveness, seeds of hatred, and it's working because MSM is out there pushing that narrative. The fact that they just totally ignore Antifa and build them up to be this great thing amazes me. It baffles me. They're as bad as BLM, they're as bad as this white supremacy group. Now, I think most of us are decent humans out there. Just like that one article I read, it said. You know, we have our bad sides, we have our good sides. But we're all Americans. We all work for the same dreams. We want to be successful. We want to be happy. We want to be loved. We have a lot in common with each other. But you got this little minority out there, these white supremacists, these Antifas, these BLMs. They're a small minority. I watch these. I've gone to these gatherings. They're very small minorities. Yet they're pushing the narrative. Them and MSM. Something needs to be done. We need to find peace. And I'm getting nervous that it's gone too far down the road. So yeah, do I completely agree with what these Confederate statues stand for? No. It's not a part of my history. My dad was still over in Italy. But I get some of the angst and anger that's out there. But again, I'm not for removing that. What's next? Removing books, removing this, recreating the whole truth, recreating our whole history, recreating the narrative and spinning it the way you want. It's not something I'm proud of. What say you? This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.